Hey, and welcome back to another episode of This Week with Cheek. This is a spontaneous episode. My family and I are down in the basement, and we are building the boys some loft beds. So we've started with the frame. But as we got started with this project, what I did is I moved the tiles back, the ceiling tiles, so that I could see where the studs were, which would make it a little bit easier as I was trying to hang this first part of the frame. But as I removed the ceiling tiles, we found a surprise. This is crazy. We found a bunch of black droppings up in the ceiling. And yes, this is cockroach bowel movements. In other words, poo. And so the crazy thing is my son has been sleeping here on his bunk bed with some roaches above him going to the bathroom, which is quite frankly a little disgusting. But it was exciting. We've gotten it taken care of, and now we are putting the frame of our loft bed together. And what I want to show you is how we have used the Pythagorean Theorem to help us figure something out. And maybe I should call this the Poothagorean Theorem, since we've been dealing with the poo. But let's take a look at the Pythagorean or Poothagorean Theorem. So this first cut, I measured 87 inches. I'm going to write 87 right there. So this board right here is 87 inches long. And then I put on this leg and this leg over here. And so you would think if I measured from here to here, it would be 87 inches. Now, I was just about ready to make that cut, and I thought, you know, I was always taught measure twice, cut once. So we took a measurement, and this measurement was 86 inches long. And I was trying to figure out why that might be. And so we got to looking, and I thought, Pythagorean Theorem. So I really want to show you how I used this to figure out why we were short 1 inch. So I've measured 3 feet from this corner to here. Mary Gail, if you'll swing around and get... This is 3 feet right here. So this would be my first leg. And then this leg here, if I measure from this corner back, that's 4 feet. So my hypotenuse, going from the 4 foot to the 3 foot mark, should measure 5 feet if this corner is square or is 90 degrees. So my wife is going to hold the tape measure here at the 3 foot leg, and I'm going to pull it over here to the 4 foot. Something else we also figured out the first time we did this, we measured from the front of the board instead of the back of the board. That does make a difference also. So I'm going to measure here to the back of the board, and here's my mark over here. If you see here, it comes up with 59 inches. Okay? 59 inches. Not quite 5 feet, which is what it would need to be if it were square. Now, we also checked this corner over here. And I want to show you, if we pull the tape measure over here, so we've also got a 3 foot mark and a 4 foot mark over here, we actually get, if I can move my hand, we actually get 60 feet. We actually get 60 inches or 5 feet. So this corner here is square. It's a 90-degree corner. Over here, we were off by 1 inch. We were also off by 1 inch here. This was 86 instead of 87. So I think that explains why we were off by 1 inch. This corner is not square. This corner is square. So I have used the Pythagorean Theorem in a real way as I'm building loft beds for my 2 boys. And we also discovered some poo. So this was the Pythagorean Theorem today. Thanks for joining me on this episode of This Week with Cheek.